The Vancouver Canucks are saying goodbye to one of the most handsome men in the sport. And they're also bringing in some really interesting people to their scouting staff. Let's talk about the latest Vancouver Canucks hires and players that also found themselves leaving the organization. Starting out with a guy that was one of, if not the number one most handsome guys in the entire NHL, something like that. At least according to one of those polls that was published a few months ago, years ago, it was something like that. Nils Aman, everybody. Goodbye, Nils Aman. This is a player who had found himself in the Vancouver Canucks organization for a number of years, starting out in 2022-2023, and inevitably finding himself out of the Canucks system in 2026. Nils Aman has finally found his way back home. He has signed a contract in the SHL with Djurgardens IF. Take a look at this article posted onto the Djurgardens website. Welcome, Nils Aman. Djurgarden has signed Aman. The 26-year-old center joins after 4 seasons in North America, and the contract is for 3 years. Aman moved to Leksands IF as a junior and made the step all the way to the SHL. After several seasons in the club's A-team and playing World Cup games with Sweden in 2022, Aman moved to Canada, where he has been a part of the Vancouver Canucks organization in recent seasons. During his time in North America, he played 132 NHL games and another 123 AHL games. Last season, he had his best season in terms of points, with 41 in 55 regular season games for the Abbotsford Canucks. Now he continues his career in Stockholm. It feels fantastic to be able to add Nils to Djurgården for the next 3 seasons. The competition for his signature has been enormous, which is a strong recognition for us that Nils believes in what we do and where we're going, says sporting director Marcus Dueborgia. He continues, Nils is a great center who is skilled all over the ice, great loyalty in the game, but despite that, he has consistently been able to produce at a high level across North America. We are getting a top center in both directions, and at an age where he will become better over the entire contract period. For Aman himself, several factors weighed into the decision. I feel like the club has something really exciting going on, and it's a journey I want to be a part of. It feels good to be ready for Djurgården, and I'm looking forward to getting started. He also continues, for me, it also feels like a step in my development and career to come to such a big club, where I can contribute while continuing to develop. I'm really looking forward to the season starting and playing in front of all the fantastic Djurgården supporters. Aman will join the player group when the team reunites at the end of July. Now, it's funny, because this comes shortly after the announcement that top prospect Viggo Bjorck would be leaving Djurgardens to go play in Winnipeg or in, I guess, the Manitoba Moose system in North America. So, Djurgardens IF was in need of a top center replacement. Nils Aman is going to be that guy. Now, I think most of us need to remember where Aman came from. He was originally a 6th-round draft pick by the Colorado Avalanche, and a double-over-age draft pick at that. He was born in February 2000, so he was actually able to get drafted in 2018. But back in that time frame, he wasn't really producing all too hot. He wasn't really doing too much, so he went undrafted 2 seasons in a row. Inevitably, he was a very prolific scorer in the junior league at 19, turning 20 years old, and inevitably that's when he got drafted 6th round by Colorado, but he did not actually end up doing anything with the Colorado Avalanche. He was a prospect there for a few years. He then played in Leksands for another 2 seasons in 2021 and 2022, but then in that offseason of 2022, he ended up signing a contract with the Vancouver Canucks, coming over as an unrestricted free agent. There wasn't any trades here. It was just the guy came over after becoming a free agent. So Aman was in the Canucks system for a while. He ended up playing a nice 4 years over here. And with 16 points in 68 games in his very first season, we all kind of thought that there was more to give for this player. He was a part of the playoff run as well. He had 5 games played in 2024. But as the years went on, Aman more so just became an AHL dude, 41 points in 55 games played. Yeah, it's not really the best for a player that is hoping to become a full-time NHLer, but he's a fine addition to an SHL team. He had a nice career in the National Hockey League, and for the next 3 years, he'll be spending his time developing as Djurgardens' hopefully #1 center. With that said, we have some new Vancouver Canucks additions as well that we should dive over into. Let's talk today about Adam Sergerie, a new Vancouver Canucks scout, it seems, as reported by Adam Kiersonblad of the Hockey News. Take a look at this. The Canucks are adding Adam Sergerie to their scouting staff. He has reportedly been added to the new addition staff. The Canucks may have had a new scout for the upcoming season. According to a report from Dave Dawson, the Canucks have hired Adam Sergerie as a pro scout. Sergerie brings a decade of scouting experience, all at the junior level. Last season, Sergerie was named the director of scouting for the Penticton V's. During their inaugural WHL campaign, Penticton set the CHL record for wins in a team's first season. The V's finished the year with a 44-14-6-4 record while claiming the BC Division crown. Ay, for all the doubters that thought the Penticton V's wouldn't be able to do some damage in the WHL, what a record to go out there and shut them down. 44-14-6-4. Hey, it's a dominant record for a team that has historically been dominant in Penticton. Makes sense in my mind, honestly. Before making his way to the WHL, Sergerie spent 4 seasons as the GM and president of hockey ops for the Sherwood Park Crusaders. 3 of those years were in the AJHL, while the final year was in the BCHL. The 3 drafted prospects who played on Sergerie's teams were Cale Dock, Ben McBeath, and Jeremy Loringer. So this is a pretty good addition, I would say, when you think about guys that just have had good success in their junior leagues, either with Sherwood Park in the AJHL, BCHL, or the Penticton V's in the WHL. This was also posted about on Twitter by the Penticton V's. They announced a change to their scouting department as Adam Sergerie has stepped away as director of scouting. We would like to thank Adam for all his time and effort with the V's. Of course, it does seem like Sergerie will be heading over to the Vancouver Canucks as a result of this Penticton departure. Greater Alberta College Hockey went out there and said, who are the best coaches and GMs in junior hockey? Because I would have really been early on Adam Sergerie. This is a guy that built a wagon with the Sherwood Park Crusaders and who went on a huge role in the BCHL playoffs. Sergerie coached a number of their alumni with the KC Squires a few years ago too, and the KC Squires U15 AAA Alberta junior team obviously has some really interesting names alongside of it too. Just for what it's worth, if this guy has been pretty good at scouting talent for Penticton and for Sherwood Park as well, it would make sense for him to progress upwards into a National Hockey League role and hopefully get involved in Vancouver discovering the next talent for the future too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Nils Aman leaving the Vancouver Canucks and Adam Sergerie reportedly coming over and becoming a part of the scouting staff. Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.